What's happening, everyone? Max here. We're back for some more F1. Today, I've got an interview pulled up with Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris. I literally just reacted to the two of them for the first time in a fan-made compilation video, but I thought it would be cool to check out an interview with the two of these guys. If you're new here, what I do on this channel is I look at all different types of people's communication skills, and I give you my thoughts. So, looking forward to Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris. Here we go.
The McLaren fan press conference ahead of the 2019 United States Grand Prix. Joining us today are the team's two race drivers, Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Yeah.
Our first question is from Jess, who
You can just tell by their body language the two of these guys are close as well. Carlos, within the first 2 seconds of this interview, he's kind of like leaned into Lando, and he's sort of giving the impression that he wants to have that banter and that engagement with Lando right away.
Lando, tell us something interesting that you've learned about Carlos.
That he's very good on a McLaren simulator,
Yes.
but terrible on iRacing.
No. Not good enough in
No.
iRacing. I'm getting there. Give me time.
Is he getting there?
I have 1 million laps less than you in iRacing.
Probably more.
And I have less laps than you in McLaren Simulator and still faster.
See, Carlos is joking around. He's not taking himself too seriously, but he's still defending himself and he's still showing his competitiveness there, which I like. So that's the cool thing, it seems like, with Carlos, is he seems like this really chilled out, relaxed guy who can take a joke, but he's still got this competitiveness to him, but it doesn't come across as aggressive as some of the other competitiveness and some of the other drivers that I've seen so far.
Okay.
If we take the average of the two,
Okay, I'm faster. Next question, please.
There's a lightheartedness under that competitiveness, it feels like.
Which of your teammates' qualities do you wish you had, racing or otherwise? Carlos, let's start with you this time.
So I would like to have Lando's.
can't think of anything. Doesn't want anything from me.
No, yes, there is. Let me think. It's a good question. Lando's ability to be decent in high-speed corners.
Oh, the ballsy corners, basically.
Yeah, it's funny because these guys are also technically competing against each other, so the ego is going to step in sometimes and say, hey, like, I'm the better driver here.
I would like to have Lando's.
I don't know if they would ever honestly concede to one of the other guys being a better driver than the other. It kind of makes this friendship all that more special, the fact that they're able to be this close, yet still have to compete at the highest level.
The ability to grow a beard. That comes with time. You need to be patient.
I've been 19 years like this.
Don't worry. Maybe in 19 years' time.
Wow, he's only 19 years old here. Crazy.
His ability
Two.
to, it might sound simple, but come off the brakes and turn at the same time.
Do you mean that's the easiest thing? Like.
Yeah, Carlos seems like he's such a great big brother in a way to Lando.
Two.
Although he's a competitive dude, he doesn't seem to take himself too seriously. Which, again, I feel like is the perfect role in this big brother, little brother relationship because it kind of lets Lando thrive.
I wouldn't like to go back to the 90s. The only reason I would like to is because you race against Senna, Prost and company. I'm more about the cars than the competition.
Interesting.
I agree.
Thank you, Lando. Thank you for your...
I would love to drive cars from like, I don't know, anything before 2000.
Apparently they were very light, very quick. In race stream you could push flat out. Good old days.
And he's a good audience for Carlos.
Good old days.
Like, I think Lando really appreciates and enjoys the silliness in Carlos. Not only does he appreciate it, but it gives him an opportunity to bond with Carlos because it's like, okay, now I can laugh at Carlos. Now I can make fun of him. Now I can poke at him. And I know this is going to contribute toward our bond and our dynamic.
Anastasia asks, what book would you take with you to a desert island?
Desert islands? What to do on a desert island?
How to survive on a desert island. manual of 100 things to how to act, behave, and do.
So both of you would take a manual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's the only thing that makes me survive to
How
then
to
come back
survive on
later
a
to
desert
Formula One,
island.
yes.
Smart. Right, let's go to Shadow Slasher 82, who asks, what has been your most exciting race in Formula One so far, and why?
It's a great dynamic. It really is. Like I said, Carlos is clearly the big brother, it feels like here, kind of bringing Lando in to the fun.
Let's go to Shadow Slasher 82.
He's leading the fun a lot of the time with Lando. I think Lando might be a little bit more uptight than Carlos when the media's around. And I think Carlos kind of brings that fun side of Lando out in a public-facing setting.
You get the best result.
Yeah, I was going to say Bahrain for me.
Well, you had a good race because you came back from the back.
Exactly. It was a fun
After a
race. It wasn't like I was
terrible
just in.
start.
I got hit.
Right? He kind of gets up in his space. Right? Carlos initiates that. Look at his body language throughout the interview. He's up in Lando's space. He initiates a lot of this sort of teasing and joking around. You can tell he wants to get Lando loosened up. He wants him to laugh.
And any race that rains, I enjoy it a lot. It's more fun than anything else.
Interesting. That tells me that Carlos likes a challenge.
Every race you won in Formula 3 was wet.
Wow.
You never wanted to drive.
I didn't want in the right.
I feel like he gets a mental advantage when those things happen. That's what it sounds like. He embraces that challenge.
If you see the gap to second, it was always like above 10 seconds against English drivers like you. Experts, masters of the race.
So Carlos, nothing pre-McLaren.
That Lando being English, Carlos kind of takes a jab, and again with the body language, kind of gets right up in Lando's space. And it's almost like he's sort of flirting with him, not in a romantic way, really kind of embracing that big brother role. Really, he likes to get a smile out of Lando. He likes to get a rise out of him. And it's all in good fun, right? The jesting is all in good fun with Carlos, you can tell.
If the regulations changed and a car had to be controlled by two drivers, which of you would operate the pedals and which of you would operate the steering wheel?
I'd do the pedals, 100%. You would do the steering.
Are you sure?
Who would be our engineer?
Yeah. Do you have to
Tom?
choose an engineer?
We get Tom like this, I talk to him.
Zach.
Zach Brown.
Box.
Box.
Box this later.
Box, dude. Sorry.
Yeah, they've got a good thing going on, don't they? Yeah, Lando really gets a kick out of Carlos, doesn't he?
Sorry.
He really gets a kick out of Carlos's pronunciation, it feels like.
So they're all like interesting and good fun, but the most hands-on, and I think
Come on, you can
a
say
lot
it.
of people. I can do this.
You can do it.
A lot of people would say is one is the best one is the trim shot,
Okay.
because you get to like cut stuff up and grind stuff away and stuff like that.
Like, the cool thing about Carlos, and although he's joking around 95% of the time with Lando, he's taking an interest in him. You can joke around with people, but still show your interest in them at the same time.
And I think
Come on, you can
a
say
lot
it.
of people. I can do this.
So I think it's cool. Like, in many ways throughout this interview, Carlos is kind of poking at Lando and teasing him and looking at him and getting in his space. And all of these things, although a lot of them are jokes, all of these things are ways of Carlos demonstrating his care toward Lando. If we sense that people take an interest in us, I talk about this a lot, we're more likely to listen to that person. We're more likely to want to be around that person. See, Carlos with the lean in.
Yeah, that goes us both in the zone.
We put it before qualifying because our rooms are
Always
next to
really
each other,
next to
so we go, I'm losing it.
It's a good
You know the
track.
song I'm Losing It?
It's a great song.
No?
What's the name
Can
of
you
the
hum
question?
it for us, please?
I'm losing it.
It's too hard.
Although I've seen a lot of really close dynamics, these two really feel like a true brother, big brother, little brother dynamic to me. You can see Lando's got a lot of respect, not a lot of respect, but I'm sure respect too, but you can see Lando's got a lot of admiration directed toward Carlos.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your time, and good luck this weekend.
Anyway, Another cool video. I appreciate all the Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris recommendations. I'm glad I finally got around to these guys. And if you want to watch my uncut reaction to this video along with my uncut reaction to their funny moment compilation, you can go straight to my Patreon page. Other than that, I appreciate you being here. My name is Max. I will catch you soon. Peace.